Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show for February 18th, 2024. Going to be doing the 2024 NFL MVP bets picks. First look at them. Actually, we touched a little bit on them with Jacob Kamiker on Tuesday, but I thought I'd do a deeper dive on it today. And kind of flying solo today for the first time in a few weeks. It feels a little weird not to have someone talking along with me, but try to get through this. I'm pretty wiped, to be honest, but I'll try to get through it. Just please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that would mean a lot to us. If you really want to help support the show, we have super chats. I always say this: we get no money from YouTube ads, like $1 per episode, like $1.50 at most. Any super chats would be really helpful. Or if you guys have any questions or comments, it doesn't have to be super chat. Just leave them. I'll get to it. You could ask me anything. I'll answer anything. And it doesn't have to be about football. So we'll see how that goes. Looking at the top of the board here, this is FanDuel's odds, and I always encourage people to shop around. The main page, the top link on the main page has these deals where you could click on. I might as well pull it up. So like this, I'll always stress this is so important. The best sportsbook promos you can see here, the top link. This will take you to this page, and you can get like good deals here for like FanDuel, Bet5, get 150 in bonus bets. Same at BetMGM right now. These sportsbooks always have these deals, and it's really important to get the best deal possible because you have to offset the vig. It's like 110 vig, so you have to hit 52.3% of your bets to break even. But that's not the case if you get bonus bets. So it's free money. I mean, obviously you have to bet it before you take it out, but you're probably going to bet it anyway, so you might as well get the free money. So I highly encourage people to check out these deals. These deals change all the time too. It's like every week there's something new. Like this DraftKings thing is new. If you're in one of these states for Bet365, I am not, unfortunately, but I hear it's a really good sports book, so you have these opportunities. So I definitely recommend that. Anyway, so I'm just going by FanDuel, but like I was saying, it's important to shop around. So try to get better odds on these. You might be able to, or these might be the best odds. Honestly, like FanDuel, I think has like the best futures odds. I would play in baseball last year. I played the home run props, and like almost all of them were made on FanDuel. I just had the best odds for that, and actually did pretty well with the home run props. I'm gonna try to post them this year. It's hard though because like I'll see something and it'll be available for like 30 minutes or an hour. So I have to I can't update the site on my phone currently. I can only do it on my computer. So I'll have to figure out how to do it on my phone. So like once I bet it, I could just post it real quick. I think that would be pretty cool because I really did well with the home run props last year. It was like not every day was a winner. But like I feel like I won most weeks. So I thought that'd be cool to share. So anyway, if you look at the top here, you have Mahomes at plus 60, plus 650. He's the favorite to win MVP. And as you might expect, I guess, I would not bet him though. First of all, those odds are pretty bad. And second, I think there's going to be voter fatigue. Like he's won MVP before, twice before. He's won Super Bowl MVP 3 times. He's coming off a Super Bowl MVP. And remember, like his receiving core is not that great. It's just Rashee Rice. You have Travis Kelce is a year older now. So he's I think he's gonna be like 34. That supporting cast of Mahomes was pretty bad last year. Now I expect them to upgrade a little bit, but still they might deal with a lot of drop passes again. And like I said, the voter fatigue's there, so I wouldn't bet it. I don't really see a reason to. Now maybe like if the Chiefs suffer a loss or two early in the year and you get a better number, you might be able to get that, but I don't think I'd be kind of surprised if he wins MVP. Josh Allen's 8-1. He's the next guy. Again, like this number's not great. I don't think I'd bet it. I would rather bet Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes though, because like I said, like Mahomes' supporting cast is not that great. Allen's is I think better. Although like they need a receiver too. I assume the Bills are going to find one. But like Allen can get there with the rushing. Mahomes doesn't run as much anymore. Like he'll run in key instances, but like Allen will pick up like far better rushing numbers. So If he scores a bunch of rushing touchdowns and the Bills have the best record in the NFL, like there's a good chance he's going to win MVP. But 8-1's not great. Joe Burrow 10-1. I'm kind of interested in this. It's not the 10-1's not great. But Joe Burrow is going to be coming back off injury, and I thought there was a good chance that the Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl this year when Burrow was healthy. Now, obviously, everything changed when he went down, but he's going to be coming back, and I think if the Bengals do really well next year, I think people are going to look at that and be like, "Oh, it's really Burrow," because without him last year, they didn't make the playoffs, and now with him, they have the best record or one of the best records. So I think Burrow 10-1 is pretty appealing. I don't know if I'm going to bet it, but I'd definitely consider it. CJ Stroud 11-1. I think it's okay. I'd rather bet Burrow 10-1 than Stroud 11-1. But I don't hate it. Stroud was great last year as a rookie, and you'd expect him to get better. He's going to have Tank Dell coming back from injury. I think they have to improve the offensive line a little bit. It really struggled against Baltimore in that second round loss. But I mean, Stroud has the tools and the supporting cast to get there. I don't mind this 11-1. I wish we were getting a slightly better number, but yeah, like I said, I don't hate it at all. Next one is Lamar Jackson 12-1. Don't bet this one because it really sucks for me because I bet Lamar Jackson won MVP in 2022, and he didn't get there because he got injured. And then I didn't bet him last year, and of course he won MVP. But he played so poorly in the AFC Championship. I think people are going to be reluctant to give him MVP again, especially right after he won it. And I even joked, like, it wasn't even a joke. I was like kind of serious about it. I was like, Lamar Jackson should give back the MVP award after he won it because he was so terrible against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So didn't feel like he deserved it. So I don't think the voters would vote for him. Could be wrong, but I really don't see it. Justin Herbert at 13-1. See, I kind of like this because Justin Herbert has shown that he can post like some crazy stats. And now he's going to have a real coach coaching him. First real coach the Chargers have had since Marty Schottenheimer. So this is like back in 2006, like Philip Rivers' first year as a starter. So yeah, I mean, I think Herbert could have a great year. You know, he'll need the receivers to stay healthy, like for once, like Keenan Allen, Michael Williams, they always get hurt. But I think with under Harbaugh, like maybe they'll have a better training staff. Maybe the players will stay healthy as a result. I think that's definitely possible. And Herbert has the tools around him if they stay healthy to have a great year. So at 13-1, I think this really looks appealing. So this is something I may bet. Burrow and Herbert, I think, are my favorites so far. Jordan Love, no cookie Jordan Love at 14-1. It seems good too. He was so inconsistent last year. He like at times he looked like a bottom 10 quarterback, and then he would have games where he looked like an all-pro. It was just really remarkable. But then you have to remember it was his first year as a starter, and all of his receivers, like not a single one, had more than 2 years of experience. And obviously that's going to change now because they're all going to be a year older. So I like that he and his receivers are going to grow together. I love the coaching staff. I think there's definitely a possibility that he wins MVP. 14-1. You know, it's not a great number for someone like Love, you know, without much experience. But I think it's that low for a reason. I think that the sportsbooks know if they price this higher that the sharps might hammer it. So 14-1 seems pretty good. I think I like Herbert better at 13-1. But Love at 14-1 is something I would consider betting. Dak Prescott 16-1. Like he almost won this year. I think he finished in second place in the voting, so like he can certainly get there. He posts great numbers. The problem is it's still Mike McCarthy, and I don't know. At what point do the voters go like what's the point of giving Prescott MVP if he's just going to lose in the playoffs in the first round or two? It's kind of like the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Like the fact that he was almost there. And then he just faltered in the playoffs, like just so easily in the first round. I know he posted great numbers against the Packers, but like that was a result of garbage time. Like in the first half, he had horrible numbers. So like I think his stats look appealing, and I think there's a decent chance he wins Offensive Player of the Year. But as for MVP, I don't know. I just don't see it. It could happen, but like I don't like that much. Brock Purdy 16-1. I don't know. I like as long as Christian McCaffrey's there, like he's going to steal MVP votes away from Purdy. So I would not bet Purdy at 16-1. However, Jalen Hurts is also 16-1, and I talked about this with I can't remember if it was Jacob or Tom. It's been a long week, so I think it was the Jacob. Like I like the Eagles' chances of rebounding a lot next year. They're going to have Vic Fangio coaching the defense. It's a major upgrade at defense coordinator. They have cap space. They're going to be able to add to the fix their weaknesses, which is the cornerback and safety positions. So they're going to improve their secondary. You would assume. I mean, I trust Howard Roseman. And their offense was great last year until the very end when AJ Brown got hurt and everything. But I think that the Eagles have a good chance of bouncing back, and if they do, Jalen Hurts is going to be in the running for MVP. Someone like Hurts, I feel like should be like 10-1 or 11-1, and I think there's really good value at 16-1. This is my favorite value so far. I don't know if I like Hurts versus Herbert straight up. Like if they're the same number, I don't know which one I would bet, but like I think those two are my favorites. Herbert and Hurts. I think Hurts is my favorite 16-1. Then Herbert 13-1, Love 14-1. But we still have some more. Stafford's 20-1. He's going to post some great numbers with Puka Nacua in his second year. Cooper Kupp's going to be healthy. You would assume, at least to start the year, he will be. The offensive line is improving. They have Kyron Williams at running back, who looked phenomenal last year. So the offense is going to be great. And if Stafford posts great numbers and the Rams have a tremendous record, like he can definitely win MVP. I'd rather bet Hurts and I'd rather bet Herbert, but Stafford at 21 seems pretty appealing to me. Patrick commenting, Walt, watching any new shows now that the season's over? I just finished The Sopranos and now watching Always Sunny. Yeah, I got to watch Always Sunny. I've watched the first 2 seasons of that, and I just stopped it because I was watching with my wife, and I don't know, something happened to make us stop watching it for some reason. I always liked it. I need to watch all the episodes. I just started watching a show, and I think it's only 1 season so far. It's called The Island, like capital I dash land. It's on Netflix, and the premise is the 10 people wake up on an island, all equidistant from each other. They're like, I can't remember, it was like 39 steps apart. They measure it. And they all don't have any memories. They just have their name tag on the back of their shirts. And so they don't know what they're doing there. And it's kind of like it's like, I don't want to say it's like Lost or anything like that, but like there's really some really cool elements involved. Like the island is kind of weird. There's some kind of like mystique to it. It's definitely not as good as Lost, but it's pretty good. I'd say the only weakness is the main actress, the main character. She's attractive, but like I don't think she's a good actress. She was I don't know if you ever watched Ordinary Joe. She was the Hispanic girl in that show, and I always thought, I just didn't like her as an actress. Like she seemed to like have no emotions or anything like that. It just seemed like she could only play like one emotion really, and just I think she's kind of like flat as an actress. But I like the show so far. I'm like in episode 5. I don't know how many episodes there are, but it's cool. I mean, there's a cool twist to it, and so I enjoyed it. So. Patrick says, I like Herbert with the Harbaugh addition. It's a good pick. Hopefully not limited by injuries, disappointing receivers. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Is like Harbaugh improving the training staff, and maybe that means the receivers are going to be healthier. I don't know for sure. Like maybe they're just going to keep getting hurt, but I think there's at least a chance that their injury luck turns around with someone who like actually knows what he's doing at the helm. So I agree. Like Herbert, I think is my favorite pick thus far. So anyway, yeah. To answer your question, Patrick, I'm watching The Island right now, and then when I get that done, I'm gonna try to find something else. I don't know what. There's like so many things I've wanted to watch that I just like. My wife asked me today because like we finally finished the 3rd season of Only Murders in the Building, and we're like, oh, what do we watch now? Because it took us like 2 months to get through it. That 3rd season, just because like we have no time with the 2 kids, and I'm like, what do we watch now? And she's like, I don't know. It feels like there's so many shows we want us to watch. We can't think of one right now. So I think Upload is season 3 is next on the docket for us together, but. As far as I'm concerned personally, like like there are other shows I wanted to watch too. I saw like some cool looking shows, um, but I can't remember what they are at the moment. Um, Josh says Jordan Love has some crazy odds. Why is he so high? I think because like people saw the upside on how he finished the year, and like he was great against Dallas in the playoffs, and he almost beat the Niners in the second round. If the kicker hits the field goal, there's a good chance they win that game. And he is upside. He's talented. He has a receiving core that's going to get a lot better with experience. The tight ends are both rookies last year. They're going to get better with experience. Coaching staff's great. Aaron Jones was never healthy last year. He was healthy for like 5 or 6 games. So you'd assume that turns around as well. And like I said, I think if Love was priced higher, like if he was like 20-1, I think the Sharps would hammer that just because like the upside with him. So I think there's a reason why he's only 14-1. Patrick says my girlfriend really likes The Bear on Hulu, so that might be my next watch. My wife liked that too. So yeah, it might be a good show. I don't know. You'll have to let me know, Patrick, if it's good. But because like my wife liked it as well, but we don't always like the same things. She watches House a lot. I can't watch House. I just can't stand like hospital shows. It's just like I don't want to be in a hospital, like why would I watch a show like in a hospital? I don't know. It's just like it always bothered me. I could never get into ER or Grey's Anatomy for those reasons either. Josh says I agree. Very solid offensive line, plenty of weapons. Yeah, offensive line's really good too. Forgot about that. So yeah, I think there's some merits to taking Love at 14-1. The next guy is Tua. It's 25-1. Do you trust him to stay healthy again? I don't know. Like he could win it, definitely. Like Tyreek Hill's gonna be a year older though. So I wouldn't bet this, but if he won, that wouldn't surprise me or anything. Trevor Lawrence 25-1. I don't trust that offensive line. The Jaguars could improve the blocking though. We'll see what happens. Like if they make some good upgrades to the offensive line in the free agency of the draft, I'll have more interest. But right now, Lawrence just doesn't get the blocking, and there's a good chance Calvin Ridley's going to be gone. Like the Jaguars were not happy with Ridley's performance last year. They said he was kind of like aloof and he caused problems in the locker room. Charlie Campbell reported that, by the way, at the Senior Bowl. And like some Jaguar fans like jump down our throats about it, but I'm like Charlie's right about everything. Like don't doubt Charlie. This is like me reporting. Sure, you could like maybe criticize it, but like Charlie has never gotten anything wrong, like as far as I know. So I would trust that. So like if Ridley's gone, you're going to go back to Kirk and Zay Jones, which is fine, and Evan Ingram obviously. But like the blocking is the main issue for me right now. So like I said, if they improve it, then I'll have interest. Speaking of bad blocking, Aaron Jones is 25-1. That Jets offensive line is awful. I don't think Rodgers would have done much with the Jets this year anyway. No, obviously they would have had a much better record. I'm just talking about like going deep into the playoffs. I like that possibility, but then the offensive line was a real disappointment. I thought that it would be better last year, but it really struggled. So the Jets are going to have to add like 3 upgrades, at least 2. And they could do it. They have the number 10 pick. They could draft like one of the many talented tackles in the class, but there's no guarantee that that player will play well as a rookie, I think there's a good chance they go after Bakhtiari, just because Aaron Rodgers will really push for it. So if they had Bakhtiari and then spend the number 10 pick on an offensive lineman, I'm going to be more intrigued. But like, I don't know if Rodgers is going to have the stats to do it. Like he's a pretty old guy at this point. Like, I don't know if it's not going to be like peak Aaron Rodgers, Anthony Richardson to 30-1. This is a long shot I like. He's going to have some great rushing stats. He looked good as a passer in like, albeit in limited action. But he played much better as a passer than I thought. And now he's going to have a year more of experience. I like the coaching staff. And I saw some chatter that the Colts are going to try to trade for AJ Brown. I don't know if the Eagles will want to part with him. Like Brown obviously has some stuff in the locker room there. So he may want out, and he'll be able to reunite with Shane Steichen. And like the Colts having Brown, and if they re-sign Pittman, like that's a hell of a 1-2 punch at receiver. So if Richardson could stay healthy, which it's a big concern, but if he can stay healthy, like he'll be able to put up some monster numbers. And so, yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson won MVP in the second year. Richardson, I think, could win MVP in the second year too. So 30-1 seems pretty appealing. Patrick says Deshaun Watson being that high is absurd when Joe Flacco played better than him. It's not 2019 anymore. Yeah. Um, it's crazy that Flacco outplayed Watson. Like, really, I like, who would have believed that if you told them before the year, like, hey, like Joe Flacco, who's not even in the NFL right now, is going to outplay Deshaun Watson. Uh, it's like no one would believe that, but it's crazy how things can happen in the NFL. Kirk Cousins 40-1. We don't know where he's going to go. If he goes to a team with a lot of weapons, then I think you'd have to like it. Like if he goes to the Raiders, he'll have Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, maybe Michael Mayer will do something in the second year. Josh Jacobs could be back. Like Jacobs, Adams, and Myers. That's a great trio. Offensive line's a worry, but if they add to the blocking in the first round of the draft, I think that'll look pretty good. If he goes to, I don't know, like a team that doesn't have much offensive firepower, I can't really think of one off the top of my head, but like if he goes to a situation like that, then it won't be as appealing. But like it really depends where he goes. If he stays in Minnesota, he'll have Addison in second year, Jefferson. Well, Hawkinson's coming off torn ACL, so I don't know if he's going to play that much. The offensive line is decent in Minnesota, so 40-1 is not bad. I just don't think he's going to win it. I'd rather bet Richardson to 30-1. Jared Goff is 50-1. For a starting quarterback on a team that went to the NFC Championship, like that is a good number. And I think they need to develop a number 2 receiver for Goff to win it, just because like Goff is sometimes inconsistent, especially on the road. But like if they get a really good number 2 receiver to go along with St. Brown, and then their tight end, the rookie tight end, like I think that like Goff will have a chance to post like some really good numbers, and the Lions will have a great record. So like I think he'll be in the running for MVP if that's the case. And 50-1 seems pretty good. I don't know if I'd like get there, but it seems like a decent number. And same thing with Fields, like 50-1. If he can stay healthy all year, and we first of all, we don't know where he's going to go. But like let's say he goes to the Raiders or something like that. If it's the same situation with Cousins, like if they improve their offensive line, he's going to have 2 really good receivers. He's going to be able to run the ball. I don't quite trust him to stay healthy. That's the main concern I have here. But 50-1 with Fields seems like a nice ride. Like that's something I would like sprinkle on like a half unit or something like that, just to cheer it on. So we'll have to see where he goes. I don't want to bet it right now, because like if he goes to a team that doesn't have good offensive talent, that'll be a concern. Like Pittsburgh, I guess. Like there's been rumors that or like it's been reported that Mike Tomlin's a big fan of Fields. So like if he goes to Pittsburgh, like yeah, they'll have Pickens and Deontay Johnson, but and Freiermuth. So like it's a good trio, but like they're not like neither of them is like a number 1 receiver, and the offensive line is a big concern. So and plus the Steelers are super conservative with running. So like I wouldn't want to bet Fields in Pittsburgh. But if he goes to a team with much more offensive firepower, then I think I'd like that as well. Let's go to Kyler Murray's 50-1. He has never played a full season, so it's a tough ask to get there. Like, even if he plays a full season, like does he win MVP? Probably not. Like Marquise Brown's a free agent. Now they're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 4 if he's there. I assume he's going to be there because I think quarterbacks are going to go 1 to 3. So they're going to have Harrison Jr., but he's only going to be a rookie receiver. And plus, like I said, Murray doesn't stay healthy. So I would not bet this. Mayfield 60-1 with Dave Canales gone. I don't like this. Now I like the replacement, but I don't know. 60-1 doesn't seem high enough. Plus Mike Evans is a free agent. If he's gone, forget about it. Like that would be a terrible bet. Deshaun Watson talked about him 75-1. It's crazy. Like it's like coughing just looking at this number. Like it's kind of insane. So I just like I can't get to this. Like Joe Flacco outplayed Deshaun Watson last year. Watson has never been the same since that incident. You know, I don't know. It's 75-1 so high. I just can't get there. Like it's high for a team with a good that's going to have a good record probably next year. I don't think you can bet it. Bryce Young 100-1. Good luck if you want to bet this. I know Dave Canales could maybe work his magic, but I just don't see it. Will Levis 100-1, and that's not high enough. Like he's so raw. Like he has talent for sure. But he's such a raw quarterback. I think it's going to take him longer to develop. But I mean, Christian McCaffrey at 100-1. Like if you're comparing him to Brock Purdy, who's 16-1, like McCaffrey at 101 seems pretty good. Now I know like it's tough for a non-quarterback to get there, but like I feel like McCaffrey almost got there this year. Like if a Niner won MVP, I think it would have been pretty close with McCaffrey and Purdy. And if McCaffrey has another year like he did this year, then he's definitely going to be in the running. So I don't hate this. I don't think I can get to it as a bet, but I think that it's at least like worth considering. Geno Smith 100-1, no. Justin Jefferson 100-1. I think he'll win. It's a good chance he won Offensive Player of the Year, but MVP, no. Tyreek Hill, no. My argument against Tyreek Hill is so people are saying last year like he could win MVP, and he didn't. But I was like, look at the year before. He had Skylar Thompson throwing to him, and he wasn't nearly as productive. So like, how could someone like that win MVP if like another player dictates how good he's going to be? CeeDee Lamb's 150-1. There's no reason to bet that. Derek Carr 150-1. Not good. Like, could you ever see Derek Carr winning MVP? I can't. Russell Wilson 150-1. No. We don't even know if he's going to start next year. Like, who knows what's going to happen to him. I love Caleb Williams as 150-1. I assume he's going to be in the Bears, but just can't. I would not bet a rookie to win MVP. Daniel Jones 150-1. Same with Jamar Chase, Drake May, all 150-1. Don't see that. I love Garoppolo's 200-1. He got suspended 2 weeks or 2 games for performance enhancing drugs. It's like, how bad would he have been if like he didn't take those because he was so terrible last year? I really don't see anything down here. Nakua, these are all really good players. It just can't win MVP. Like it's probably going to be a quarterback or like the elite of the elite like players like McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill. Even though I just said I don't think he's going to get there. Quarterbacks to see Ryan Tannehill 200-1. He may not be a starter next year. Jane Daniels, he's going to be either the Patriots or the Redskins starter, but he's a rookie, so can't trust that. JJ McCarthy may start somewhere. I'm not as high on McCarthy as some people are. I think there's a chance he falls to the second round of the draft. So 300-1, no. I'm just looking for quarterbacks. I don't see any others. Rashee Rice at 400-1. Like what is Fred Warner's 400-1? He's a great linebacker, but like, how could he ever win MVP? How could like a linebacker ever win MVP these days? Just don't say it. Yeah, I think those are all the rest of the quarterbacks. So my favorites. Just to kind of recap this, my favorite is Justin Herbert 13-1. It's not like a phenomenal number, but with a great coach and great supporting cast, like he could definitely get there. Jalen Hurts 16-1. Actually, this is my favorite. Sorry, Hurts is my favorite 16-1. Then Herbert 13-1. I think Hurts is going to bounce back next year. Now, just make sure they don't trade AJ Brown. If they don't trade AJ Brown, like by the summer, I think you're in the clear. So if they trade Brown, I'll have less interest. So I'll like Herbert more. Richardson at 30-1 is my favorite long shot. And then Burrow 10-1. It would be my fourth pick, or I guess my third pick, and I think Richardson is my fourth. Like I said, I think Burrow is going to kind of remind people how important he is. Just like given how much success the Bengals are going to have next year with him. So I like him a lot there. And then if I had a fifth, it would be I think it'd be Jordan Love at 14-1. I don't love the number, but like I said, I think there is a reason why it's that low. So yeah, that's it. I did a short episode here. If you couldn't tell, like I'm coughing quite a bit. My somehow my daughter got sick first. I don't get how, because she doesn't go anywhere. She's at home all day. Like usually it's my son who goes to daycare. He gets sick, and then he gets the rest of us sick. But my daughter got sick first, and then she got my son sick, and then I got sick. Somehow my wife didn't get sick. So like I'm thinking that maybe she got sick first. She was carrying, but she didn't have any symptoms, and so she gave it to my daughter, and then my son got it. Then I got it. So there was a stretch for a while, like for a 6-year span, no joke, 6-year span, I did not get sick once in 6 years. This is from like so I'd say 2015 to 2021. I just did not get sick at all. And then ever since my son was born and started going to daycare, like I've been getting sick like every month. Like it's pretty crazy, but I guess it's expected, right? They're just like kids are like human petri dishes. They just bring everything home, and like, yeah, I guess it was bound to happen. So it's making up for all the years I haven't been sick. Now I'm getting sick all the time. But what are you going to do? So anyway, thanks so much for watching and commenting and everything like that. Really appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Tuesday. Actually, I shouldn't say we. I'll be back on Tuesday. Jacob's on vacation next week, so he's not going to be here on Tuesday. I'll do a solo show. I'll do my mock draft, my 2024 NFL mock draft. So we'll do that. Comment from Sue and Red Eye. I saw the Saints have a horrible cap number. How did that happen? Well, maybe we'll have Kenny maybe on Wednesday. We'll be on to maybe explain it further. But the Saints are like guilty of what Kenny was talking about, where like teams will kick the can down the road with these like contracts that like they'll like it's like really all these contracts are like just pushed back like years in advance, and so like teams like when Sean Payton was there, like he didn't care because he was probably going to be gone by then. So like they're just like backload all these contracts like crazy, and like teams will have to eat it eventually. And that's what's happening with the Saints right now. It's going to happen with the Eagles eventually too. The Eagles did a lot of this. So like in like 5 or 6 years, like the Eagles are going to have a terrible cap situation like 1 year, and they're just going to have to tank and just rebuild. But like this is what's the smart teams do is like yeah, we'll just eat this down the road, and we'll stack our roster in the meanwhile, and we'll try to win Super Bowls. And by the time our cap situation goes to hell, we're probably going to be gone. We'll all have different jobs. So it is a smart thing to do. It kind of reminds me of like what the government does. So like they keep printing money and stuff like that. It's like inflation's going up. Like our national debt is higher than ever. It's like, oh, we'll take care of it later. And like these politicians who are doing this, like they're not going to be in office when the crap hits the fan, you know? So it's a sad state of affairs in real life. But in the NFL, it's smart to do because they're like outside of like 1 or 2 horrible seasons, there aren't that many negative ramifications. Like the Rams just went through this. Like they obviously they were a Super Bowl team, and then after that they just were terrible for a season. They had to completely rebuild, and they actually rebuilt faster than I think most people thought. Like they made the playoffs last year. I don't think many people made anything. I don't think like many people thought they make the playoffs last year because it was the second year of their rebuild. But it just goes to show how important it is to nail your draft picks. And like the Rams did that. Like look at Puka Nacua, for example. Some of their young offensive linemen, some of their young defensive players, they really stepped up. So if you can draft well, you can get out of it. So if the Saints draft well, like they can get out of this funk like pretty quickly. But if they draft poorly, like they're going to be bad for a long time. So it just I feel like you kind of have to like marry the kicking the can down the road with good drafting. So that's hope I answered your question. But I don't know if Kenny will be on Wednesday. He wasn't on this past Wednesday. I actually texted him. I'm like, Kenny, are you coming on? He's like, no, it's Valentine's Day. I'm out with my wife. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot it was Valentine's Day. I did get my wife flowers the day before, but like as for that actual day, I just kind of forgot. Stanley says, hey Walt, when are you doing your season preview and every team's offseason needs? Team offseason needs are on the site right now. I posted them yesterday. I think if you look here on the team page, the main page, under best sportsbook promos, the second link is 2024 NFL team needs. And so this will take you to a list of teams by division. And so you click on one of them and it'll give you all the needs for each team. And there's a drop down and you could just go to another team and see what they need. Season previews are typically posted. They start to be posted in June. What I do is after the draft, I can't do them before the draft because the draft is obviously so important for the previews. But once the draft is complete and I do fantasy rankings, I'll start working on previews. And what I'd like to do is I want to get through all the previews on my end first before I post any of them, just because what I do after each team is I'll simulate their whole schedule. But if a team I'm simulating is better than I thought they were, it would be tough to go back. So for example, if I posted the Chargers preview and I had them beating, let's just say, for example, I had them beating the Jets. And when I got to the Jets preview, I'm like, oh, this Jets team is really good. I kind of misevaluated them earlier when I didn't look into them closely, and now I am. And so I have to go through the season simulation and change some results if I posted them. So if I posted a Chargers record of 11-6, and then I did the Jets preview and I'm like, oh, the Jets are better. Now I'm going to have them beating the Chargers instead of the vice versa. Then the Chargers will suddenly be 10-7, and people saw the preview at 11-6 will suddenly be wondering hey, why are the Chargers now 10-7? You know what I mean? So I'd like to get everything done first on my end before I post them. So that's how I'm able to post one a day. When I do that, I'm done completely. I'm done my previews, unless there's something major that happens. But yeah, that's how I do it. So usually it takes me about 3 or 4 weeks to do the previews on my end. So that comes out to mid-June. So usually they get started in mid-June and then they go into July. It's one per day. So that's when we do the previews. But the team needs are up. I'm too lazy to look up. Slew was asking what does free agency start? When does free agency start? I think it's the Wednesday of it's the third Wednesday, the second Wednesday of March. It's March 13th this year. But that's the official start. But you're gonna see Schefter and Rappaport are gonna report the player signing on March 10, March 11, March 12. But the official start time of free agency is March 13th on Wednesday. So yeah, it's usually been the second Wednesday in March. So yeah, it's always around March 14, March 13, something like that. So yeah, like I said, thanks guys for watching, commenting, and everything like that. And yeah, Jacob's gonna be on vacation next week, so I'm gonna be solo on Tuesday. I'll do my mock draft. I think Kenny is gonna be back on Wednesday, and of course Tom will be back on Thursday. He's already excited about next week's episode. And I am too. I'm hoping that he watches Game of Thrones, the first couple of episodes, so I can get his opinion on it and everything. But I'm sure we'll get into some crazy stuff like we did last Thursday. So all right guys, I hope you have a great weekend, the rest of your great weekend, and I will talk to you on Tuesday.